Lady Sansa, I offer my services once again. I will shield your back and keep your counsel and give my life for yours if need be. I swear it by the old gods and the new.
And I vow that you shall always have a place by my hearth. And
meat and mead at my table.
Meat and mead at my table. And I pledge to ask no service of you that might bring you dishonor. I swear it by the old gods and the new. Arise.
And now, from the crypts of Winterfell, it's your favorite podcast of Thrones, Game of Microphones, with Sir Duncan and Lady Rachel. Winter is here.
Well met, leal swords and mutineers, and welcome to Game of Microphones. I'm Lord Sterling, Sir Duncan, the True.
And I'm Lady Rachel of House Fox, the Caffeinated.
And joining us today for the first time is our good friend and website designer, Lady Lisa of House Sky, Pyromancer. Welcome to Game of Microphones, my lady.
Oh, hello.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Lisa works on our website and is also an artist. I know you've heard us mention her before. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your art and where people can find it?
You can just see my art at fineartsbylisa.com. It speaks for itself.
Nice. Perfect.
You're amazing.
And this is episode 93.
On this episode of our series Rewatch, we're covering the season premiere of Game of Thrones Season 6, The Red Woman.
And in case you're not already aware, this series Rewatch is from the perspective of someone who is current on the show. That means you've seen up through Season 7, Episode 7.
If not, there's still time to be kidnapped by a call and dragged away to the Dosh Colleen, so you don't have to hear these spoilers.
Warning.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Oh, what'd you guys think about this episode? Pretty good for a season premiere, huh? What about you, Rachel?
Lots of good stuff. We go lots of places, too. I had a hard time picking a top 3.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
I had a few that I wanted to.
That's a good problem to have. That means it was a good episode, right?
Yeah. What did you think?
I thought it was pretty awesome. Definitely one of my favorite premieres. How about you, Lady Lisa?
Well, we know that my favorite scene of all time is in this episode, so I love it.
Kick ass. Looking forward to talking about that. So, Rachel, you want to start off with your number 3?
Sure. My number 3 is The Northern Wilderness with Sansa and Theon.
Ooh, nice. I think that is my something as well. Yeah, my number 1. So we'll kind of...
That's my number.
Okay, let's collab.
We'll all collab.
Okay. Collab.
I called it Theon's Attempted Redemption. Attempted redemption.
Oh my God.
Attempted redemption. So we get this beautiful shot of 2 figures running through a snowy meadow with kind of some trees around them, and being in a state that we don't get any snow, I love snowy scenes like this. It looks so, like ethereal and beautiful and like a wonderland compared to the constant sun that we get here in California. So
stay there as long as you can. Cherish it.
No, I can't wait to get to the snow.
Ethereal. That's a really good word for that.
Totally.
I'm so excited.
Oh yeah, you're going to have some snow in Idaho, huh?
Yeah, we get snow in Idaho.
Nice.
Yes, July. We will be moving in the dead of summer, but
Oh, I don't think I know that.
yeah. So we see them running, and Sansa's super out of breath, and Theon's lumbering along, and Sansa kind of stops to catch her breath, and Theon's like, "Oh, girl, no, we cannot stop. You have to keep going. Like, I've seen what these hounds can do."
Yeah, that's such a fucked up line. Like, oh,
yeah.
man.
So they come to a river, a frozen river, and Sansa puts her foot in it. She's like, "Oh, hell no, I'm not going in there." She's like, "It's too cold. I won't make it. I'll die." And she's so dramatic.
Yeah, she's probably,
But she's probably right, because, I mean, frozen water like that, if it's super deep, I mean, they clearly can't stop to build a fire once they've waded through because they're being pursued. So.
And he's doing like the reek thing as they're walking across the river, the like head bob thing.
Yeah, like, yeah,
like a tweaker.
Yep, exactly.
And he's like, we have, like, this way is way better. Basically, like, I would rather us freeze to death than get mauled by hounds.
Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, that's probably true."
I will agree to that as well. So it cuts kind of over. They're in a thicket now. They've crossed the river, and they are freezing. They can barely move. Their bodies, like, they're trying to run as fast as they can, but their like nervous system is like not working because they're
shaking,
basically hypothermic.
They're like snuggling.
And he's like, "Over here, come on." And they find like a little underbrush, like where they can hide under. And I'm not sure if that's necessarily the smartest thing to do, is stop if they can't build a fire. I think they should keep running so they don't get cold.
Probably true. Probably a good idea.
Yeah, but the hounds were like right on them.
Yeah. And I mean, they did cross the river, but like they're not that far away from the river. So they need to put more distance between the hounds and them before they do anything. And Sansa's freezing, and Theon, I guess we can kind of call him Theon at this point.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Theon wraps his arms around Sansa, and there's this moment of like, they reconnect on a level, because I mean, they grew up together. Theon was like a brother to her, and they kind of embrace. And Sansa, I think she just feels so much relief and confusion and terror.
Yeah, and he's acting like a brother again,
Yeah, and she's kind of letting that all out towards him. So I think he meets his redemption here. So why don't I let you take over, because I know your number one is about his redemption.
All right. So yeah, I just thought it was kind of neat that he basically decides to potentially sacrifice himself to try to save her here. Considering everything that he's taken from her family, and with the deaths of Roderick, and the what they thought were the deaths of Rickon and Brienne, and losing the castle and everything, and destroying Robb's war effort. It's kind of a noble sacrifice here to try to make up for all that by giving himself up to the dogs, basically. Even though he knows how horrible that fate would be, he still runs out there and tries to tell them a lie to try to throw them off her scent, which is useless.
It works for like 0.5 seconds.
Yeah. And he tells her, "Go north, only north. John is Lord Commander at Castle Black. He'll help you." And so now she's heard that John is Lord Commander from multiple sources. So she knows it's true that Ramsay wasn't just messing with her.
Yeah, I have that in my notes too, that she finds out that John really is the Lord Commander, and it wasn't Ramsay just like toying with her. Right.
Little does she know that he just got killed.
I know.
It's another one of those near miss type events where Sansa shows
close.
up at the Eyrie and Lysa's dead, or Arya shows up at the Eyrie and Lysa's dead, or Sansa is going to go to Castle Black, but John's dead. Interestingly, by the time she actually arrives, he's alive again. Like ships passing in the night. One of those moments in the show.
Yeah. Like when Sansa and Baelish ride past Brienne, and pod on the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Just missed each other. So he runs out, and the Bolton soldiers are asking him, "Where is Lady Bolton?" Calling her Lady Bolton. Oh, that's pretty.
Ew, that's so creepy.
When they first said that, I was like, "Who? Oh, her. Okay."
Yeah, exactly. So he's like, "Dead. She broke her leg jumping from the ramparts," which is not necessarily a totally unbelievable lie because they're like 100 feet.
Fall. Yeah.
I left her to die in the snow. And it's like, it was a good try, but not very convincing, Reek. You gave it your best, though. You gave it your best. So the dogs smell her, obviously, and drag the soldiers over there. And they're surrounding Sansa, who's kind of freaking out. And they got her. They grab her, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Brienne and Pod show up. It's a bloody woman! And this is your favorite scene, Lady Lisa, so I'll let you talk about it.
Oh, yeah. Just the fact that Brienne is just finally getting to the point in her journey that she really was just dying to get to. And you can see it all over her puppy dog eyes. And
right. How long has she been trying to find Sansa, first of all?
It's a good question. Long.
I think since season 2.
Yeah, something like that. When she meets Catelyn.
Yeah, season 2. I think she was not in season 1. So I think it was like mid to late season 2.
Yep. Renly gets killed. She ends up with Cat.
Yep.
Takes the vow.
Yep. So, yeah. And she had a really close encounter of the best kind.
Which encounter?
With Littlefinger and Sansa. They were so close. She was so close.
Oh, on the road there?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
And Sansa was like, "Nah, B, sorry."
And then they actually found her at that tavern too, right?
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, I thought you were talking about when they passed on the road.
Oh, no. When she tried to give her sword to Sansa. Right. The first time.
Baelish is just casting doubt about every
aspect of it. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. So, yeah, so she was so close, and then she was on the journey again and waiting for that candle in the window. So close again. And now here she is. It's a bloody woman. And the noises she makes, like, she's just so cool. She's the coolest.
Yeah, she's like,
and her faces and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then Podrick coming up behind, just those two, they just make me so happy. I just love the scene so much. What you said earlier, Rachel, about it being ethereal, like the colors and the lighting and just everything, this whole scene, I could just watch it over and over and over again, which I have.
Yeah, me too. It's such a beautiful scene. Like Sansa's eyes are super blue, and it's almost like a black and it's like a very faded color cinematography. Like it's almost like there's a filter on it in a way.
Yeah, like
the way it's lit.
They've removed saturation from the color to make everything like a little bit less colorful and more like dreary and bleak.
Dreary and dark.
They do that a lot on the show.
Yeah, but it's really exceptional here, and
her hair is just sticking out, right?
Yeah, like they almost like saturate her red hair against her blue eyes, and it's really pretty. I think Sansa's so beautiful.
Oh, she is.
I know she's like kind of an annoying character at first, but I really love Sansa after she gets it, like starting kind of around now, after she escapes her torture and starts coming into her own as a woman. She's just so like regal. I love the red hair. I love red hair.
Yeah, I'm definitely team Sansa now. I wasn't at first. I don't think anybody really was. She's so bratty.
Yeah, like the first season, I'm like, who is this person? She's driving me crazy.
Lying about Arya and everything.
Yeah.
She attacked Prince Joffrey.
And Rachel, okay, so the horses in this scene, how they got them to like fall and do all these crazy things, and I admire that so much, that they can work with these giant animals and get them to do exactly what they want them to do and make it look real. Like, you think that horse is hurt when it flops over like that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm actually not really sure how they get the horses to do that. I know that you can train them to almost like a dog, like to play dead.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
There are horses. They are very easy to. I mean, they're very similar in a way to dogs. I would say not as intelligent as a dog, but similar qualities of repetition and picking stuff up and doing things for a reward.
Yes.
Yeah, they're fun animals. They really are.
Mm-hmm.
You were saying you've taken care of a lot of horses too, right, Lisa?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Percherons.
Oh, yes. Beautiful.
Giant horses. Yeah.
Yes.
And then at like 22 minutes into the episode, Brienne.
Roy Dotrice over here.
Oh man, I can't not say it like that. She comes into the screen. You know that part where she comes into the scene.
Oh, she saunters onto the shot.
It makes me laugh every time. I don't know why, but I love that part.
Yeah, it's so funny. She kills all these guys and is like slitting everybody's throat, and she
just
gets
slides right
kicked in the face, and then she just like steps onto the screen like, "Yeah, I'm here, Sansa."
Just depleted.
She's like kind of like fixing her shirt. She's like, ugh.
Yep.
Lady Sansa.
And that's the point in the episode right before the part where she kneels in front of Sansa and
places her blade on the ground.
Oh, yes, exactly.
I love how formal Brienne is.
Oh, I know. I love her so much.
She takes it so seriously.
Seriously. She's so loyal.
It's not just like, oh, hey, I'm here to swear my oath to you again. She likes ceremony, like she did it with Renly Baratheon too, when she asked him to be a part of his Kingsguard.
Yeah, or when she ran into Sansa at the tavern, she knelt there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
and the same thing with Lady Catelyn.
So dramatic.
Yes, so she takes that whole like ritualistic aspect of a ceremony and takes that very seriously. She's devout to it.
Totally.
And just her eyes. I love her eyes in this moment when she's looking up at Sansa, big puppy dog eyes, like this is
so
what I've always wanted. Yeah.
Lady Sansa, I offer my services once again. I will shield your back and keep your counsel and give my life for yours if need be. I swear it by the old gods and the new.
And then there's Podrick in the background being like the priest.
Yeah.
Like helping along with the words.
The dialogue, yeah.
Because she's just so nervous. She's never done it before. And this mirrors her mother doing the same thing. And you know in the books what Kat's thinking in her head, like, oh my
trying
goodness.
To remember the words.
If Ned could see me now, he'd be so like, yeah.
Proud and
yeah. Mm-hmm. And now she's
cool.
Going through this and she can't remember the words and she's cold and she's scared and she's happy and she's looking forward to seeing John probably. And she's like, here are my heroes right here. And you know what? I'm doing it. I'm taking this now.
Yeah. And
good
she
good choice.
Probably, she probably has been trained to know these words and everything like that. So she's definitely heard them before, probably heard Ned swearing people in and.
Right. But she hasn't had to practice it because she's a girl.
Right. Yeah.
She probably never really paid attention.
So she starts saying the vow, and I vow that you shall always have a place by my hearth. And she sort of stumbles trying to remember the words, and Podrick steps in to help her. Meat and mead at my table. She continues finishing the line. Meat and mead at my table. And I pledge to ask no service of you that might bring you dishonor. I swear it by the old gods and the new. Arise. And Brienne stands up. So epic. But I thought it was funny how Pod is always jumping in at important moments with knowledge. Like he knows
knowing all the sigils, the Dornish flags.
Yeah, the heraldry that he displayed for Tyrion and Bronn with all the Dornish sigils, and he's not very good at cooking rabbits. He wasn't aware of that, but now here he comes again with his knowledge of these words and everything like that. So I have Pod. He fucks and he knows things.
Oh my God.
Like Tyrion drinks and knows things.
We need to make a shirt with that now.
Yeah. He fucks and he knows things.
On the road.
Pretty great.
Yeah. So that was my number 3. Do you guys have anything you want to add?
Pretty much wraps it up for my number 2 as well. How about you, Lady Lisa? You
Pretty much wraps it up for me too. I love that you guys say that. I had to say, I finally said it. There we go.
Yeah, I'm like a broken record sometimes.
Brutal.
Repeating phrases. Yeah, brutal. Classic. So, what's your number 3, Lady Lisa?
Number 3. Oh, you know what? I really like the sun spear. Okay, yeah. So
Dorne.
Dorne,
That's
yes.
my number 3 too. I called it Dumb Dornishman.
Nice.
So dumb.
So dumb, so dumb, so dumb, so
Really, really dumb.
for real.
Okay, so you know the sun spear sigil. It's the sun with the spear, with the face, and it's going through the back of it into the face. Okay.
Yep.
What's his name?
Quentin. Oh, on the show, Tristane.
Tristane. That's right. Oh man, I will forever mix those up.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
You do? All right. Yeah. So you know how he gets speared in the back of the head, and it comes out his face, and he's the sun. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Just
Looks the
It's
same,
like a
doesn't
literal
it?
representation of their sigil.
Exactly. Yeah. That's it. That is. Play off that. Do what you want.
Nice. So, scene starts out with Doran walking along with Ilaria. And I just don't understand what Doran is thinking. After everything that Ilaria's done and attempting to, capture Myrcella and all this crazy stuff, why would she still be walking around this close to him, etc.? He's just so dumb. And
I think it's just, it goes back to she's a part of their family, because even Tristane echoes that when his cousins arrive. Is he on a boat or like
On a boat.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I feel like he's on a boat.
I fucked a mermaid. Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh my God. Because I know he's like, wasn't he with Myrcella
yeah.
on the boat?
Yeah. I don't know if he was on the same boat, but probably, yeah.
But they got on that little boat together right after Ilaria kissed Myrcella with the poison.
Right. Yeah. It did seem
Tristane
like he
was
on
on
a
that
boat
like
here.
little, I don't know, like, well, I don't want to call it a dinghy because it's not a dinghy, but like the little boat to get out to the big boat.
Yeah, I do believe he was on a boat, which is why there's so many jokes about the sand snakes having jet skis or something.
Oh, God.
How did they get
that's
there
what
so
I was
fast?
thinking too. Like,
And why
how
are
the
they
hell did
dry?
they get there
Yeah.
if he's on a boat?
I'm on a boat.
But going back to what you were saying, Duncan, is they say basically like, we're here to kill you. Like, which one do you want to fight? And he's like, I don't want to fight either of you. You guys are family.
Right.
Like, so clearly they're all close to each other. And I think Duran just bought too much into like, family won't hurt you.
Yeah. And I don't know why Tristane thinks he has a chance here.
Yeah, because they're like, pfft, when he says that, well, we're family.
Yeah. He's like, we're family. I don't want to hurt you. It's like, what? You think you're going to, hurt them both? They're Oberyn's daughters, man.
Yeah, 2 sand snakes.
And why would you put your back to someone who is going to kill you?
Yeah, that's really
Or
dumb
wants
too.
to kill you.
You are really dumb. For real. So, yeah, Tristane's like, I don't want to hurt you. And he picks Nymeria to try to fight. And Obara's like, smart boy. And I'm like, no, dumb boy. You're just setting yourself up here. And he turns to fight her and gets in his little fighting stance and just whack, spear right through the head.
Oh, that was a further rewatch moment for me.
Yeah, and it reminded me of in Craster's Keep with Jon and the sword going
Oh,
through.
yeah, this was way worse though.
Call fucking Tana.
This seemed way worse to me for some reason.
I love how many mirrors there are.
Oh yeah, like
Everything comes in twos or whatever.
paralleling and mirroring everywhere. Yeah, weddings and deaths and swords coming out of their mouth and things like that. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's definitely a vein that runs through the entire series.
For sure.
This was a moment when I first watched the show. I did not see coming. So I like saw it and I didn't want to see it. I would always try to like hide when there were violent scenes.
Right.
And I just remember looking at my husband like, God damn it. The show is so good at like tricking people into watching the gruesome scenes.
Totally.
They just pop out of nowhere.
So Obara kills him and Nymeria has a funny line. You're a greedy bitch. You know that? He's just like, yeah, I wanted it. But I don't know. I just can't see Areo Hota going out so easily also.
Seemed like too little dude. Of a knife to like get to the heart from the back.
Must have like severed his spinal cord and paralyzed him or something. Just dropped him.
Yeah, because he went down way too easily for a big guy like that. And just getting stabbed once in the back. When we just got off an episode seeing Meryn Trant get stabbed like 100 times and Jon Snow getting stabbed like 6 times and surviving more than
and speaking of Jon Snow, remember he's with Stannis and he says, I heard it's good to keep your enemies close. And Stannis is like, whoever said that didn't have many enemies. And so Doran's trying to do that here, keeping his enemies close. He's got Ilaria literally right there. Works out really badly. So yeah, Stannis being proven correctly posthumously here. Proven correct.
True.
Yeah, Elia is just brutal too. You are not a Dornishman. You're not our prince. And naturally, Doran's like bleeding out on the ground. And he's like, my son Trystane. And Ilaria again, super brutal. Your son is weak, just like you. And weak men will never rule Dorne again. And I like the way that, and I like the way Doran dies there. He's just like, ah. His head kind of like rolls backwards. And I thought it was a pretty good death.
It was a good death because he hung on a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it was kind of funny too how the Sand Snakes and Ilaria seem like they're just waiting for this news to come in so they can just attack. They're all ready. Ilaria's got her blade on her wrist. Tyenne's got that blade on her like her shin or whatever that she uses.
Yeah.
Pretty
I think
badass.
I'm going to start walking around with a blade on my shin.
Might as well, right? I already do. So, yeah. No.
You never know when you may need one.
Yeah, that's it for my number 3.
That was both your number 3, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So what's your number 2, Lady Rachel?
Let's see. My number 2 is, well, it's the Red Woman, but I started my number 2 with leading up to that scene. With the Watch brothers allied to Alistair.
Nice.
And they're pointing crossbows. So we'll start there. But the main meat of my number 2 is Melisandre.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So Alistair's at the door and he goes, Sir Davos, we have no cause to fight. We are both anointed knights, which I thought was kind of cool because that's true. And they're just opposite sides of the door at this moment.
Yeah, I love how Davos is fucking with him.
Yeah, he's like, hear that, lads? We don't have anything to fear. We can just walk out of here alive.
Yeah, it's so great.
I was wondering what you guys thought of his response. I will grant you amnesty to all the brothers if you throw down your swords by nightfall. Do you think he would have done that if they would have walked out?
It's a good question. Ed doesn't seem to think so. They all think that if they open the doors, they're all dead, basically. So I'm going to have to trust their judgment on this and say that, yeah, Alistair was bullshitting them.
Yeah, me too. Because the way when we first pan into that scene, all of the crossbows like pointed at the door and everybody has like their sword out.
Oh, true.
Because, I think if they opened the door, they would have just opened fire.
Right, just rushed them with arrows and shit, or bolts.
Yeah. So, Alistair goes on, he tells Davos, you can, take off. And Davos is like, well, will I get a horse? Will I get, some mutton? I really want some mutton.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
And Alistair's like, what?
What is this shopping list?
Yeah, what? What are you talking about? Mutton? For real, bro?
He's like, I'm not much of a hunter, so I'll need some food if I'm going to make it without starving.
Just stalling, trying to think of what to do.
Yeah, because they're waiting for Ed to come back with
exactly.
the wildlings, right? So yeah, it's stalling.
Yeah,
delay
so
tactics.
He just continues to go on. And basically, Davos is like, thank you, Sir Alistair. We'll discuss amongst ourselves and get back to you with an answer. And
So smart.
Thank you, Sir Alistair.
And Alistair's just like, oh, and they just walk off.
Hilarious. He totally like tricks Alistair, kind of.
Yeah. So the watchmen inside, they're like, dude, they're going to slaughter us. If they come in, they're going to come in anyways. So like, we need to like do something about it. And Davos is like, yeah, but we don't need to make it easy for him. We don't need to surrender and open the door.
Right.
And they're like, Ed is our only chance. And Davos is like, there's always the red woman. And they're like, what is one redhead going to do? Like against, he's like, dude, you don't know the shit that she's done. I've seen her like birth a demon. She can handle some Night's Watchmen. And so we cut to Melisandre, and I love this scene. I love it for so many reasons, because we know from the books, it's referenced a few times that she's supposed to be like really old.
Well, they never say it explicitly in the books.
No, it's what's the word I'm looking, like
hinted at.
Yeah, alluded
she's like,
to.
I've been, practicing sorcery for, I don't know, many lifetimes or something, she says. Then, yeah.
I think they say too many years to count or something like that in the book.
Countless years or something
Countless
like
years,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool.
And I think I read somewhere in an article, George R. Martin said that, he intended her to be like, several centuries years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, they talked about that at the little like behind the scenes stuff after the episode.
Oh, maybe that's where I got it from.
One of them mentions that based on an early conversation that they had with Gurm, that they knew that Melisandre was supposed to be a few centuries old, he said, which is nuts.
That's where I got it from. Okay, I knew I had heard that before or read it somewhere or something.
And I think the guy who plays Maester Crescent, am I saying that right? Crescent, yeah. He also said the same thing when they were going over the script, I guess, with D&D. Yeah.
Interesting.
They said something like 400 years old, so.
Damn.
It's not canon.
Wow.
But
yeah, so she's old.
I noticed that when the camera pans back and it shows like the full body nude shot of the old woman, that the music was the same music that played when Selyse was hanging. Going from 6
nice
to flat
catch.
6. Yeah, it was pretty intense. Da-na.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder if she took, I don't know if there's what the magic goes into the glamour thing, but I don't know if, that's the thing that's keeping her young or whatever, but if she's taking that off to kind of go to sleep forever, when she goes into bed. Yeah. I was kind of like, I don't know. I'm just bullshitting, but you know what I mean?
Well,
I love when it like turns red as she takes it off. And then when she lays it on the table, if you notice, it's the old lady's hand. It's not her hand.
Ooh,
so that references the second she takes it off, she's immediately in the old woman's state.
Yeah.
Because it's the old lady hand that sets it on the table and the stone is black.
That's crazy. So I was wondering if it was like a continuity error when she was in the bathtub a few seasons ago, completely naked when Selyse comes in. Because it seems like rubies are responsible for the glamours. There's more about that in the books, with the rattle shirt and everything, and Rhaegar potentially. And they talk about her ruby glowing at her neck a lot and everything like that, pulsing.
To explain that, I think one of the showrunners had said that the glamour works to hook the person that they're trying to deceive, and since Selyse is already hooked.
Oh, she doesn't need the necklace.
She doesn't need it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Pretty crazy.
So who knows if that's
crazy.
True or not, but.
So maybe she's allowing herself, like by physically removing the necklace and allowing herself to see her true form.
Yeah. It's like centering coming to grips with reality, facing the truth and working from there to forge a new path or find her center. It's I just thought it was really cool how they used the same music that was like playing when Selyse was hanging.
That's really cool.
So I don't necessarily think that Melisandre is thinking about committing suicide, but I think she's sort of giving up at that moment to some extent, if not fully.
Yeah, I do too.
I agree.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
I think she's lost belief in her whole reason for like existing.
Yeah,
and
pretty
staying
much.
centuries.
She doesn't know what her purpose is.
Yeah, it's so funny when Davos suggests that there's the red woman too, and everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Right before that, one of the Night's Watchmen had said, it's a sad fucking statement if Dolorous Ed is our only chance.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny because everybody always calls him Dolorous Ed, which is, that's one of my pet peeves. Because he's Dolorous, not Dolores.
Dolorous.
Exhibiting dolor, sadness. So it's kind of funny. Anything else you want to add about Melisandre?
No, I think that's it for me. What about you, Lady Lisa?
No, I think that pretty much wraps it up for that.
Nice.
Sorry. Not sorry.
Okay, so what's your number 2 then?
Oh, me. Let's see. I've got Eat Your Baby down here on my notes. I like that part. That's it. It's funny. Like that they can have a little levity,
Yeah,
every once in a while.
Just wants to give the lady some coin to feed her child, and she's like, "Oh my god, he wants to pay me to take my child to eat him."
Varys.
Yeah, Varys has to explain it. It's great.
Don't eat my baby.
Mm-hmm. And then his sleeves in that scene.
Oh, with Varys' sleeves?
I just love watching him do the weird things that he does with his sleeves.
Yeah, sometimes
like when they're over his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, got the openings of the sleeves like connected in the front. It's totally. It looks like a sorcerer, isn't that what sorcerers do like that?
Which is funny because he doesn't like sorcerers.
Yeah, he hates sorcerers. That's pretty interesting.
I can't wait to get that whole story.
Hopefully we do.
I feel like if I remember correctly in book 1, it talks about Varys a little bit, like how he's always washing his hands and stuff, like in rose water, and maybe he doesn't like getting his hands dirty. Like he has like a germaphobe thing going. So he's always covering his hands up.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, he's always like smells really good and is all, decked out with scents and
Powder on his face.
Clothes. Yeah. But that could also just be an act to throw people off so that when he's out in disguise doing stuff that nobody recognizes him because they would expect him to be, all fancy and everything like that.
It's almost like a disguise in itself.
Yeah, totally.
He's a faceless man as well.
Yeah, right.
In his own way.
Kind of.
I love when Varys he's speaking in Valyrian and he goes to the lady, his Valyrian is terrible. He only wants to give you money so your baby can eat.
His Valyrian is a bit nostril. As he said last episode.
Yeah.
She thinks you want to eat your baby. What?
It's like Mike Tyson. I want his heart, I'll eat his children.
My style is impetuous, my defense is impregnable, and I'm just ferocious. I want your heart, I want to eat his children. Praise be to Allah.
Oh my god, no. What?
Oh my god.
I love Rachel's reactions to you. Oh god.
Iron Mike.
Oh my god.
Oh, Duncan.
God.
Duncanisms.
So brutal.
There's another one.
Yeah.
Anywho, so eat your baby. The Danko HL baby.
Yeah, so I mean, in this scene too, we see the Misa is a master.
Right.
Yeah, it seems like the people are starting to turn on Daenerys, or it could be propaganda from the masters.
He's like, I know what Misa means.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I wonder what is that? What do you think that's all about?
Good question. I'm not really sure. What do you think, Rachel? You think the people are turning on Dany and that it was organically written by people who are mad that she bailed on Meereen? Or do you think it's like the masters putting propaganda out to cast her in a negative light?
I think it's propaganda.
Interesting.
I think it might have been there before that whole shit went down. Yeah, so I like I was saying, I think it's propaganda because we don't really know if that's brand new, like 5 minutes ago, or if that's been up for weeks.
Right. I think it's pretty new since she left on the dragon, and people are starting to like be mad or something about it. Then they talk into that priest. The red priest is preaching about Dany being the Lord of basically hinting that she's Azor Ahai, asking who's going to take up the mantle now that she's gone. Who will take up her flames yourselves? I just thought it was pretty neat. He's rallying the troops to continue the cause anyway, which is pretty good. And Tyrion sort of harnesses on that whole thing and ends up bringing in Kinvara to add to what this red priest is doing throughout Meereen, right?
That's right. The really old one, right? The one that tells Varys about his parts.
Yeah.
She's kind of creepy.
Do you want to know what the words that came through the flames? And he's like, oh my God, this is terrifying.
Yeah, because he doesn't like any type of magic like that at all.
Yeah, in the Boston University thing where the students wrote a version of season 8 on their own, Euron kills Kinvara like right off the bat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. He summons a kraken and feeds Kinvara to the kraken.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Imagine how cool it'd be to get a kraken on the show.
So cool. Oh, I want to see that.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be awesome.
I'd love that.
Yeah, so they leave the priest guy, and then all of a sudden there's chaos, and they everybody's running away from one area, and of course the heroes always have to run towards the chaos, right? So they run down and discover that the harbor is ablaze, and all of Dany's ships are burning. And Tyrion's like, well, she won't be sailing to Westeros anytime soon. Just kind of funny. And Varys reveals that his little birds have already taken wing. And as soon as they return, they'll be singing songs of men in gold masks. So he's sent his little children out throughout Meereen to get the dirt, basically. And I'm picturing Varys like walking through the streets like, hey, little kids, you want some candy? If you get me some information, I'll give you treats. Just so creepy. Although Qyburn is the real,
which is what is exactly what Qyburn is doing.
Yeah, and I think he learned that from Varys.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because the little birds are little kids. I think.
Yes,
largely at least. I'm sure they have. He has people of all shapes and sizes and ages, but. Kids are good because when he was a kid, he would, like squeeze down chimneys basically and use his little size to steal secrets.
Yeah, and so since the system is already in place, Qyburn's like, well, then you're mine now.
Right? Yeah, basically.
Have some candied plums.
Yeah, you little birds are mine, little birds now. Little children. So creepy.
Oh yeah, another little random thing, side note, the wall at the very beginning of the episode.
Oh yeah. Cool shot of the wall.
Cool shot of the wall, and it always reminds me of the very end of the episode where we can see that Melisandre's old skin, and it looks exactly the same as that wall right there.
Oh my God.
Like, it's kind of hard to explain if you're not looking at it, but next time you watch
the wrinkles and creases vertically coming down the wall.
The old lady.
I like it.
Classic.
Nice.
So where does that leave us?
That leaves us on your number 2, Duncan.
My number 2 is the death of Cersei.
Oh.
Because I think when Myrcella dies and all of her children are dead, I think that's pretty much finito for Cersei as being any type of regular human, basically.
Agreed.
And what did you say, Lisa? Goth Cersei emerges?
Oh, yeah.
Goth Cersei. That's awesome.
Yeah, she's talking about, decomposing bodies, and it seems like she's kind of not obsessed, but she thinks about that a lot. She's like with her mother, now she's thinking about her daughter, and I'm sure she thought about Joffrey and Tywin eventually. She says something about it then, too.
I found it interesting when she said that. I imagine Myrcella's face, like pulling back and riding away. That's the punishment that she gives Ilaria, is to watch her daughter like actually decompose.
Right, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, that's so fucked up. Super fucked up. She makes her witness what she's just imagining.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's how twisted she is.
Totally. And so she starts off with her being super stoked as she learns that a ship has arrived with the Sun and Spear sigil approaching the harbor. And she's like, oh, yay, Myrcella's here. And she throws on her matching necklace to match Myrcella's necklace that showed up on the Viper in the box.
Yeah, the lion, the gold lion.
Yeah, so she's wearing that and she runs down to the harbor all excited. And what a cool place that is. Like that superstructure of stone all around that boat launch area.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. Just a beautiful spot. I wonder where they shot that. So she's all excited, runs down there to the edge of the water,
she's
looks
like
over.
Skipping.
Yeah, she's like skipping, and sadly, Jamie is standing on the bow with that look on his face, that nope look. And she sees Jamie, and in the background behind him, golden
the
shroud.
Gold would be, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And gold will
So
be their
sad.
shrouds.
Yep. Gold will be their crowns. Gold
And
will
you
be their
literally
shrouds.
see the joy wash off her face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's just tortured by this. Everything, like sort of the way that everything came crashing down and burning for Melisandre, like her whole reality is lost. Everything she believed in, Stannis dying, John dying, and even in this episode, she's like, I saw him in the flames fighting at Winterfell. Like what the hell's going on? Everything she thought she knew, her whole world just came crashing down. Same type of shit is happening with Cersei. Her whole world is crashing down as well.
Parallel.
It's another really good parallel.
Yeah, all of her kids are dying. The kingdom is, being taken down by the sparrows. Their dynasty is at risk.
And the look on Melisandre's face when she's looking at Jon, and the look on Cersei's face when she's looking at
Myrcella.
At Myrcella's boat there. Yeah.
Similar type thing, just devastation.
Devastation.
Would you say it looked like Mary looking at Jesus from a play that you were in?
Yeah.
So next it cuts to Jamie and Cersei hanging out in the Red Keep. And that's when she's imagining the decomposition of Myrcella and their mother and everything like that. And she's losing it. She's in a really dark place at this point. She's trying to, come to grips with everything. And she has a really heartbreaking line where she says, she was good, Myrcella. She, from her first breath, she was so sweet. I don't know where she came from. She was nothing like me. No meanness, no jealousy, just good. I thought if I could make something so good, so pure, maybe I'm not a monster. And
that's such a heartbreaking line,
right? So
from
intense.
A mother's perspective.
Yeah, and she's obviously harboring some type of guilt about her just actions in general in life, and so she has seemingly done some type of self-actualization about her true nature, and it shows us just how tortured she is as she falls into the pit of hopelessness, thinking she's been ensnared by an unavoidable prophecy for essentially her whole life, knowing what's coming, but being unable to avoid it or divert the course of time. And Jamie tries to lighten the load.
You don't
on her.
believe that?
Yeah, he's like, listen to me, she was my daughter and I failed her, taking the blame for not being able to bring her home safely, just trying to ease Cersei's, pain here. And she's just like, no. I knew this would happen. The witch told me years ago. She promised me 3 children, promised they'd die. And she says it, and gold their shrouds. Everything she said came true. You couldn't have stopped it. It's prophecy. It's fate. And Jamie's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's just like, no. You don't believe that. It's crazy. She's
like, of course I do.
Yeah, she's so convinced that this is all true. It's totally been like a self-fulfilling prophecy that she's been trying to do everything to prevent this the whole time, and it's just caused everything to happen,
Yeah.
So fucked up. So he's like, what the fuck? And yeah, like you said, she's like, of course I do. You told me when father died that we had to stay together, that people would try to take everything that was ours, our house. And that was part of the prophecy too, that a younger, more beautiful queen would come and take everything of Cersei's that she held dear.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, I didn't I didn't listen and everything came true. And she's freaking out. And Jaime's just trying to say whatever he can to ease her discomfort. Fuck prophecy, fuck fate, fuck everyone who isn't us. Which is
I love that line.
Yeah, and it's he's telling her like, we're gonna take everything back, and nothing else matters except us. We're gonna take everything and more. And sort of like the way that Sam convinces Ollie unwittingly to kill Jon by saying, sometimes you know the right thing to do.
I love your impression of Sam. It makes me laugh every time.
Me too. It's my favorite. Okay. I'm glad we're on the same page.
It's so positive.
Sometimes you know what's right to do, and even if everyone else thinks it's wrong, you know you need to do it. And Ollie's like, oh yeah, I should kill Jon. And so here, Jaime's basically saying the same thing, like, we're going to do all this stuff, and it's just hardening Cersei's battle plan.
And Cersei's like, okay, I'm going to blow up the Sept.
Exactly. It's like, no, don't tell her that.
Yeah. So she gets Qyburn looking for all the wildfire stashes and everything, and starts really going dark side after this. Yeah. The only bit of humanity that we've said that Cersei has throughout all these seasons is her love for her children. Right. So when her children are dead, that last bit of humanity. She gets
more crazed as each one dies. Like,
yeah, totally.
She gets a little crazy after Joffrey dies. She feels pretty lost and abandoned and is trying to grasp onto power, which then causes this whole, High Sparrow situation. Then she loses Marcella right after that whole High Sparrow situation.
Oh, yeah.
She's at her very lowest. So she's already low. So this is like another crack in Cersei's armor, Marcella dying.
Yeah, it's like pretty much the last crack.
Well, I think it really dissolves and disappears once Tommen dies.
Oh, right. Yeah, because Tommen's still alive. I was thinking that
Tommen's still alive.
I was thinking that Marcella was the last one. Right. Tommen's alive. So yeah, she's still barely clinging on to it.
But she's cracked. I mean, the egg is broken, and then when Tommen dies, it's fried. Like, it's a fried egg.
Fried egg. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Whack.
And similarly, Ramsay, when he's looking down at what's the girlfriend's name?
Oh, Miranda.
Miranda, when he's looking down at her dead body and is like breaking a little bit, and like it's the first time we really see him be kind of human.
Yeah, really bizarre.
Then he feeds her to the dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like on the verge of tears. His whole face is like shaking and contorting.
How fucking weird he is.
And then he's just like, feed it to the dogs.
Yeah, burn her, dig a grave. No, this is good meat. Feed her to the dogs. Ugh.
That was so creepy. And he's like, ugh.
And his like soft
he even
voice.
told the maester, I knew you were afraid of me when I was little.
Yeah, that was funny too. Everyone was afraid of me, even you, but not her. This is the closest we get to see of Ramsay being human in any type of way, except when he's pretending to be human by trying to, claiming to save Reek and or save Theon and stuff like that.
Right.
Just toying with him.
And just the way that Sansa is armored with her politeness and ladylikeness, he does the same kind of thing with his...
Yeah, with his, lordly facade.
Yes.
Or whatnot.
Darling. Yeah, no, and so that's him and Cersei, kind of have that same kind of thing happen where we see the human inside.
Yep. Yeah, pretty crazy. That's it for my number 2. That whole Jaime Cersei thing. I guess it's not fully the death of Cersei. How about your numero 1? Lady Rachel. Numero 1, mixing.
Nice.
Numero 1. I like it. My number 1 is Dany going back to Vias Dothrak.
Yeah, getting dragged away to the Dosh Khaleen.
Mm-hmm. I want to know where they filmed that.
Yeah. They start out, it's basically the whole Dothraki part of this show that is my number 1. So they're traveling. There's a ton of them. This is a huge Khalasar. Huge. And we see that at the season finale last season, how many horses are riding towards her. It's quite a large gathering of people.
And she's being made to walk like she did with Viserys,
like a slave.
kind of, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And she trips, and the Blood Rider freaking cracks a whip at her. I don't know, Lisa, if you've ever been cracked by a whip, if you've been around horses, it fucking hurts. I've cracked myself on the back a couple of times by accident, and man.
Yeah, no, my horse doesn't like the crop, so she gets all crazy like.
Yeah. My horse is super lazy, so just the sound would get him to go, but I've cracked myself on the back a couple of times.
Yeah,
I'm like,
ouch.
okay.
And Dany didn't even really flinch. Like, she kind of did.
She's just like, oh,
she's
motherfucker.
like Arya getting hit by Meryn Trant.
Yeah.
Just taking it.
Oh my gosh.
And I love the Blood Riders conversation. And I love that she knows what they're saying. And this totally echoes Master Krasny's, her listening to all the crap he said about her and Valyrian.
Pink people are afraid of the sun. You think she's got white pussy hair too?
I love when she does that. She did it at yep. Mm-hmm.
Astapor, Master Krasny's. Yeah.
Krasny's Monastis.
She has pretty eyes, but she's a total idiot.
She doesn't have to be smart to get fucked in the ass. Oh, damn, I was going to try to lure you in to get into saying that.
Oh. Nope, not going to happen. Not after the clam situation.
And I totally just revealed my plan as well. Damn it.
It's never going to happen again. So...
Spoilers.
Like, I like to talk. Otherwise, we might as well be dogs.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Okay, that's an interesting line from a Dothraki. Like
that has always really caught me. You know,
because they kind of just
so
take their women like dogs,
right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're very animalistic. Like they don't care about privacy or timing, or they just do it when they want to.
Mm-hmm.
Wild.
So. It cuts over to the settlement, and we meet Khal Morrow.
Yep.
And his wives, which I thought was interesting. That we find that they are polygamists.
Oh, I didn't realize that they were all his wives sitting there.
Yeah, they're his wives.
Cut off her head before she casts a spell on you. One of them says.
Yeah, I told you she was a witch.
Yeah. Blue-eyed women are witches. I'm like, oh damn.
Right. Yeah, and then when she says that whole rises in the west and sets in the east thing, which is like what the witch said to her.
I love that.
These
line.
girls are like,
do you think maybe
witch.
she said that to fuck with the wives?
I don't think so. I think that she was just saying it's not happening because that was, he will return to you in your womb will quicken again when mountains blow in the wind.
Oh, okay.
The sun rises in the west and sets in the east.
I love Khal Morrow, though. He goes, even if I was blind and I'd hear my wives say, cut off her head, I know this woman was beautiful. I'm glad I'm not blind. Seeing a beautiful woman naked for the first time. What is better than that? And his Blood Riders are like killing another cow, conquering a city, taking idols back from Vias Dothrak, breaking a wild horse.
Okay. Seeing beautiful women naked for the first time is among the top 5 best things in life.
Shut the fuck up.
This made me think of that scene from Conan the Barbarian with Arnold. Conan, what is best in life? To drive your enemies before you. Hear the lamentations of the women. I don't know.
I don't even know.
It's a classic moment.
Just really got into that. That was impressive.
Never seen that before.
How, Dany? We won again. This is good. But what is best in life? The open steppe, fleet horse, falcons at your wrist, and the wind in your hair. Wrong! Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women. That
is good. Pretty much.
So they go to touch her, and in Dothraki, she says, don't touch me.
Yep, and boom, the reveal.
And she lists off her titles.
Yes. Titles.
It's like Khal Morrow stands up to her. He's like, you are nobody, millionth of your name.
Queen
of nothing. Slave to Khal Morrow. Tonight I will lie with you, and if the great stallion is kind, you will give me a son. Do you understand?
Yeah, that's
she's
so
like,
hardcore.
nope, not gonna happen. I can't have kids.
Yeah, not giving you a kid or anybody else, Mr. Big Shot.
Discount Drogo.
Discount Drogo.
And then she's like, I was wife to Khal Drogo, son of Khal Barbo. I like how she says Barbosi.
Yeah.
Like Barbo is like the translation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Barbosi would probably mean like of Barbo, I imagine.
Probably.
Barbosi.
Barbosa, isn't that from Pirates of the Caribbean?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Captain Barbosa.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny. We were just talking about Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, because Jonathan Pryce is in it, right?
Yes, and he plays High Sparrow.
Mm-hmm. So Moro's like, what, like, this is ridiculous. Khal Drogo's dead.
She's like, I know, I burnt his body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then his attitude just like instantly changes.
Yeah, he's like,
he starts apologizing. You know, I didn't know. Nobody's going to touch you. It's forbidden to lie with the wife or to lie with a Khal's widow. And all of a sudden, like, as crazy and wild as these guys are, all of a sudden tradition means everything to this guy. And he's like not playing any games here. And immediately cuts her bindings.
And she's asking, because she knows
where
like
she's
what's about
be.
to happen. Yeah. And so she's like, if you could escort me back to Marine, please, I'll give you 1,000 horses.
Yeah, right. Pretty good. That's their currency basically is horses. They use horses for everything, for transport, for trade, for food. So,
but like you just said, he's so into tradition that there's no way that he's going to let her go back to Marine. She has to go where she's in his mind meant to be.
Yep. It was her best option though to throw that out there as a try, you know.
Yeah, definitely. To avoid any Sansa like situations.
Mm-hmm. Wild horses couldn't keep me away. Except in this case, they can. No, they can't. Yeah, they still can't. He's not falling for the wild horses.
No.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
1,000 horses couldn't keep Dany away from Vaes Dothrak.
Nope. So that is my number one.
Nice. They tell her, we're taking you back to the Dosh Khaleen to live out your days with the widows of the dead Khals. And I'm like, whamp, whamp, whamp.
Whamp, whamp. At least she's out of Marine.
Yeah.
I don't think she goes back to Marine. Well, she does go back to Marine.
She does, yeah.
Never mind, but it's very short.
For sure.
It's like, Dany's finally somewhere else. Oh, wait, she's back to where she was at the beginning of the story.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's my number one.
Nice. All right, so we already covered your number one, right, Lady Lisa?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, my number one is Brienne.
Oh, right.
Brienne.
Brienne of Tarth.
Is that really how he says it?
He says Brienne, yeah.
Patire.
That would drive me crazy.
It's so funny, though. You'll love it. Lady Brienne.
Lady Brienne.
How do they say it on the show? I can't even...
Brienne.
Brienne. I can't unhear it.
All right. So moving on to my number one that was Theon's attempted redemption. So we all covered that already. And we're back to notes. Who wants to talk about some notes?
Okay. All right.
Got something, Lady Lisa?
Mm-hmm. All right. The dragon wolf bloodstain thing.
Oh.
Yeah. Remember that going down on the internet? How about you, Rachel?
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
But now that you say, I don't even need an explanation. I've seen that enough to know what you're going to say.
Yeah, the internet broke when that happened. People were speculating that
he's a Targaryen.
Yeah, speculating that the blood stains were, they looked like a fire-breathing dragon, and then the other one looked like a wolf, and they were like, R plus L equals J. All that stuff was going down on the internet.
Oh, crazy. Yeah. I'll have to like pull up a picture. I mean, I have it in my mind because I've seen it so many times, and I can absolutely see why people said that.
Yeah, it was a big thing for a little while. I never really put much stock in it. I thought it was just kind of a coincidence. Like sort of when
Yeah.
We thought that Longclaw's eye like blinked.
Oh yeah.
when it comes out of the water
and the showrunners
beyond the wall. Yeah.
They were like, nah.
We're like, no. What didn't really happen? It was just a stadium lights lighting for this on set, probably reflecting in the eye.
I think they did say though that it was rather clever.
Oh, that
all
people
of
were
these people were
thinking
thinking that. Like,
yeah, makes sense.
That's how like in depth people look at this show. Every little thing is a clue, or could possibly be a clue.
Totally. Anything else you want to add about that, Lady Lisa?
I don't think so.
And how about you, Lady Rachel? What do you got for notes?
I have my notes starting up at Castle Black when Ed rips the table, like all the crap off the table to make room to lay John's body down.
Right. Yeah. Davos finds him out there when when Ghost is like whimpering and
when he's howling, and we get that that view of the sunrise. And again, we have that kind of like unsaturated color. It's like it's dawn, so it's very gray and muddled outside. And it's so eerie. I love hearing wolves howl. Such a creepy sound.
Totally.
Like whales.
And, so Davos comes strolling out. He's like, why is Ghost howling? Something's up.
Yeah,
and he steps out onto the staircase and sees a body.
And he's like, what the fuck?
And so he's like, kind of stuck. He's pausing to be like, what do I do? And then he decides like, oh crap, I gotta like run down there to see what's going on. And he looks over and it's Jon Snow's body, and the other brothers come over and they're like, what the fuck? Like Jon is dead?
Yeah, what the fuck?
And it's the Lord Commander. It's the Lord Commander. And they all rush up and Davos is like, we need to get him inside. Help me get him inside.
Yeah, and Ed looks fucking heartbroken, like totally distraught about this. Obviously, he worships Jon.
Yeah, he's his ride or die.
He's just crushed.
So he wipes the table off, like he just moves, even like lit candles. He just like pushes off the table. And I'm like, uh-oh. And Ed goes, fucking Thorne did this.
Oh yeah, he knows immediately, right?
Oh, I love Ed.
Davos is like, out of how many of your brothers do you think you can trust? And Ed's like, trust? Like maybe the people in this room?
Yeah. And Davos is thinking strategically immediately. He's like, does the wolf know you? Are you friends with Ghost?
Get the wolf.
Get him.
Go get
we're going to
him.
need help.
I love that we see Ghost. Oh, I love Ghost.
Me too. And it's so beautiful the way that they show him. He looks like Luna. That's why I love him.
Lisa, you'll have to draw a picture of Ghost.
Sure. I'd love to.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Do it.
I'll send you some of my Luna drawings first.
Yeah, he's just so pretty. And Davos is like, yeah, we need all the help we can get. And
yeah, and then a knock on the door and they all draw their swords so fast. I was like, oh,
Sir
man.
Davos.
Yeah, it's Melisandre. And she comes in and it's just like, oh my God. Like
she looks like shit. Her hair's all fucked up. She's walking really slow. She looks like she hasn't slept in days, like like she had a really long night the night before.
Yeah, and it's as if like everything else wasn't falling apart, wasn't already bad enough, like all of her visions being cast into doubt and Stannis dying and everything. Now that, as she says, I saw him in the flames fighting at Winterfell, talking about Jon, and everything is just falling apart for her at this point. She doesn't know what's real, what's not, if anything that she's seen in the flames can be relied on. But I think that this line, the fact that she saw him in the flames fighting at Winterfell, I think this gives her maybe a little more incentive to go along with Davos when Davos pushes her to try to resurrect Jon. Davos is trying to tell her, like, Thoros has resurrected Beric Dondarrion all these times. You heard this firsthand. You've seen it. Give it a try. And if she hadn't seen Jon in the flames fighting at Winterfell, who knows if she would have even given it a try.
Yeah.
But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and that's kind of like a parallel to Theon and his karma train. So Mel's trying to get back into good graces with everyone. Herself. Yeah, redeem herself, just like Theon. Yeah,
for sure. And it's so sad. Davos is like, I can't speak for the flames, but he's gone.
And she touches his cheek, and it's so sad.
Mm-hmm. She just can't believe this shit. Everything
She's
she
in
thought
despair.
she knew was up in flames. Yeah.
I almost feel bad for her a little bit.
Almost.
Almost.
After burning
So
Serene,
close.
It's kind of like when you kind of feel bad for Cersei sometimes.
Exactly. Or Theon.
It's like, damn, I feel kind of bad for you. But it's like, why?
All
Why
these
do I feel
gray
bad
characters.
for you?
Gray. That's a good word for it.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, that's what, George R. R. Martin describes it.
It's a good one.
Yeah, lots of shades of gray. More shades of gray than Christian Grey.
Ah.
I wouldn't know. I've never read the book or watched the movie.
Neither have I either. I've just spanked a bunch of bitches.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding.
Jesus Christ.
You said that with such vigor.
My God.
Alistair's voice.
Oh, yeah, you like his voice?
I love his voice and his little face.
Yes.
Yeah. His little face, you
He's got a little face on a big head. Have you ever noticed that before?
That's hilarious. Yeah, you could see he's got a tiny little face on there.
It's all smushed together.
You'll never not see that now. You're welcome.
That's great. I think it was Lady Lucy of House Jane, one of our listeners, posted a picture of this guy that she sees at a convention every once in a while who looks a lot like Alistair, and every time she sees him, she tells him. It's kind of funny. I saw the picture. He does. He's got some similar features for sure.
He's probably sick of it.
Yeah.
Every time. Just kidding. I would do the same thing.
Oh, man. Anything else you want to add about that scene, Lady Rachel?
Nope, that's it.
All right, so next, or you want to say...
Yeah, while we're still in Winterfell area, that shot of Winterfell.
Oh, with the Bolton sigil in the front, with the guy like a soldier standing there with the halberd, and then you see the Winterfell in the background.
Yes,
Is that the shot?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got that ethereal kind of thing going on too, those cool colors.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's it. Just wanted to bring attention to that because it's beautiful.
Next, we cuts to the mess hall at Castle Black, and Alistair is informing everybody that Jon Snow is dead, basically. And, you all know why we're here. Jon Snow is dead. And people are like, well, who killed him, you motherfucker? And he just admits it straight up. He's like, I did. And Bowen Marsh and Othel Yarwick and the other officers in this castle.
Yarwick looks so
uncomfortable,
ashamed.
right? Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Murders!
Super.
Murderers! Traitors! And Alistair's like, you're right. And I'm like, holy shit. We've committed treason, all of us. Jon Snow was my Lord Commander. I had no love for him. That was no secret. But I never once disobeyed an order. Loyalty is the foundation on which the Night's Watch is built.
So why did you kill him?
Yeah, you're so loyal to kill him. And I didn't know that it had to be explicitly ordered that you should not kill your Lord Commander. You know what I mean? I never disobeyed an order. Well, you kind of disobeyed like the whole premise of the chain of command and everything like that, which is the foundation for orders in the first place.
Didn't think I'd have to spell that one out for you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got to give him a little credit because he's doing what he thinks is right and trying to protect the watch from the wildlings, but you still broke your vow basically to do it. So he's going on, Jon Snow was going to destroy the Night's Watch. We've all given our lives for this, and he's tearing it all down.
And Ollie looks like an asshole in this scene.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Like
He looks a lot older.
Mashed up assholes.
Oh my God. I can't even fathom what that would look like.
I've heard people say that before. I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny.
Oh, I thought you made that one up.
Nope. I wish. So
that tickled me.
He's saying, he let the wildlings through the wall, and not only that, he gave them the lands that they've been reaving and raping on. The very lands.
Raping.
Yeah. And so it's like, what the fuck? Like, I know that Jon Snow thought what he did was right. I have no doubt about that. But it would have been the end of us. And I'm calling bullshit on that. That's speculation. Not admissible in court. And he thrust a terrible choice upon us, and we made it. I thought that was a good line, although I totally disagreed with the sentiment. And everybody's murmuring, fucking murmuring. It seems like they're coming around to Alistair like, oh, maybe he's right about this.
There's a little bit of parallel between Alistair and Stannis right here.
How so?
Like feeling like they needed to kill someone close to them to get back on track to do the right thing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good point. Are you talking about Shireen or Renly or both?
Yes.
Well, I think immediately Shireen, but now that you mention Renly, kind of Renly too.
I would think it would be more Renly-ish.
Interesting. Why?
Power grab.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. So then it cuts back over to Ed and Davos, and Ghost is nudging Jon's hand with his nose and whimpering.
And his eyes.
It's so sad.
Beautiful.
And do you think that they're worried that Jon might come back as a white here? Do you think
I'm sure they're nervous to keep him from doing that. They don't really know how long it takes. I mean, they saw what happened at Hardhome, but that was because the Night King was there, like raising their bodies.
Right, and in
how long it takes on their own, we don't really know.
Yeah, in season 1, Jon and Ghost found those 2 dead Night's Watchmen and brought them back to Castle Black. Remember, Ghost showed up with the guy's hand first?
Mm-hmm.
And Sam's like, "What you got there, Ghost? Oh my, what's that, Ghost? Is that a hand?" You know.
That was when they were taking their oaths.
That's when they were doing the oaths. And so they bring those guys back to Castle Black, but they reanimate at Castle Black on the south side of the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So typically we'd think that, people are only being resurrected as whites north of the wall, but apparently not, unless they were already resurrected and just playing dead until they got back to where they needed to be for their mission. Or there could have been like,
smart.
Yeah. There could have been a knight, like a White Walker in proximity who knew that they were dead and waited until they got past the wall to resurrect them.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think there's some sort of magic going on there that we don't understand. And I do believe that they are taking a gamble having Jon be right there. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's so many of them that probably wouldn't matter.
Yeah, they can just cut him down again.
With his own sword.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so fucked up. At least nobody stole Longclaw. That would have been really fucked up.
Oh, good point. They probably just wanted to get the heck out of there.
I wish that they had done a better job with the little white wolf on the pommel of there. It just bothers me. It just doesn't look good. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel you.
I kind of have to agree with that.
Yeah, it's not great. There's 2 versions of that sword that they sell on ValyrianSteel.com, and one is the book version.
There's a website.
Yeah, you didn't know that? Valyrian Steel? That's where I got all those swords and stuff.
Of course you do.
Only Duncan would know about a website called ValyrianSteel.com.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I know, seriously, I'm going to Google them right now.
Do it. They have like all the cool weapons, like Robert's Warhammer, Dario's Ladies, Khal Drogo's Arak.
I want cool stuff. The ladies.
Yeah, they have the White Walker's ice sword. All this
needle
cool
isn't
stuff.
Valyrian steel.
Yeah, that would have been cool. It was castle forged though.
Well, imagine that. I can get Longclaw, ice, Oathkeeper.
Yeah, there's 2 versions of Oathkeeper too, the book and show version. The book version is on
I want Needle.
Yeah, Needle's cool.
Ooh.
They have armor too, some armor like the Hound Helm, Loris's helm, which is also really cool looking.
Right.
Ooh, we can get a dragon glass dagger set.
Yes.
Oh, she's on it. She's on the site right now.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's pretty kick-ass, right?
I'm going to have to check it out when we're done. Otherwise, I'm going to get distracted and do some online shopping.
Yeah. While we're podcasting.
Yeah.
So there's a couple cool lines back and forth between Dolorous Ed and Davos here, where Dolorous is ready to like go out in a blaze of glory. Right? I don't care who's sitting at the high table. Jon was my friend, and those fuckers butchered him. Now we return the favor. And Davos is coming from like the position of strategy and everything. He's like, we don't have the numbers. And Ed's like, we have a dire wolf. And Davos says, I didn't know Lord Commander Snow for long, but I have to believe he wouldn't have wanted his friends to die for nothing. And Ed, I love his response. If you were planning to see tomorrow, you picked the wrong room. We all die today. Like, oh man, so intense. Right? That's Blood Rider shit right there.
Ride or die.
Yeah, like following your leader into the Nightlands. So brutal.
How do you feel about that, by the way?
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah.
That's like, Egyptian, pharaohs would kill their servants as well, so they'd have servants in the, in the afterlife and everything like that too. It doesn't make any sense.
Nope.
You're dead. Why kill everybody else too? You want them to live, right? I'd want my people to live if I died.
Yes.
Like, otherwise, what's the point in,
So that they're with him in the chat.
It'd be a lot more deaths
what's
in
the
the
point of
world.
your rule, though? Like, what are you fighting for if not to, create a better life for the people, basically? I mean, obviously, some rulers are selfish pricks that just try to take as much power as they can at the cost of their people. But yeah, that's a whole nother discussion.
He'll be extra sure to keep him nice and safe, though.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Knowing that they're going to die if they don't. Yeah, they're going to keep him nice and fucking safe. So Davos is like, we need to fight, but we don't need to die. Not if we have help.
They're like, who's going to help us?
Yeah.
We're stuck in a room.
He reminds them, you're not the only ones who owe your lives to Jon Snow. And Dolorous Ed's like, oh my God. Like, he has this realization where he's like, the wildlings, they owe so much to Jon. Maybe they'll come help us. And at that point, I'm thinking, oh man, Tormund is going to be so
another
pissed.
battle. I thought we were going to see another battle.
Yeah, Castle Black Battle 2.0, wildlings versus the totally.
Just a much smaller, more intimate group, like just in the walls, like another battle for Jon Snow's life.
Yeah, man, Tormund is going to be so pissed though, because he was like totally on Team Jon by this point. And Mance
Who
died.
isn't on Team Jon?
Alistair.
Oh, well.
And Ollie. And Othel Yarwick.
Not for long.
Yeah. So Ed is just like, fuck. I got to get out of here and go try to get a hold of those guys before it's too late. And he's just like, bolt the door. Don't let anyone in. I'll be back as soon as I can, and rushes out.
Yeah, and this is before Alistair and all the men with the bow stalk the door. So Ed gets out just in time.
Yep, just in time. While they're having their meeting, basically. He sneaks out. Ooh, too close for comfort.
So close.
Yeah. So what's next? Dead Miranda?
Yeah.
We talked about that a bit, right? Anything else?
We talked about her a bit.
That? Oh, Ramsay was kind of Cersei-like for a minute there. He was saying, Miranda was fearless. She wasn't scared of me, unlike you.
And his lip is quivering.
Yeah, and his face is shaking, and
she smelled of dog.
So attractive. And then he's like talking to her dead body. Your pain will be paid for 1,000 times over. I wish you could be here to watch. And that was very Cersei-like to me. Like, she's going to kill so many people.
It was very much their relationship too, because she came along with the hunt for Tamsy, and
she was special.
She helped cut Theon's dick off.
Oh God. Yeah, that's a bonding moment Dick for real. Dick on Tarly, dick off.
Reek.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I just think it shows how crazy he is, because he's going from showing some type of human emotion, and the Maester Vulcan's like, shall I have a grave dug for her, my lord? Or would you rather the men build a pyre? He's like burned, buried.
This is good meat.
Yeah, she's basically going to feed the dogs, which I find so horrible, because she's the kennel master's daughter. There's just something weird about it, the whole dog situation between the two of them.
It's kind of poetic though. She's devoted her life to the dogs. So now
she's going to be their poo.
Yeah.
She's going to nourish them.
Was it Johnny in the last podcast? Oh, I stepped in Miranda. Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
That was funny.
That was funny.
So yeah, this is good meat. Feed it to the hounds. I was just like, oh man, it.
And Maester Walken's like, what?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So crazy.
He's such a pushover.
Ramsay's nuts.
And Miranda's face, that like massive
contusion.
Like the makeup they had to do for that. It's killer.
Yeah, pretty cool. So next we have Ramsay walking with Roose. And Roose is all fucking pissed off. First he's trying to figure out, he's wondering who it was that killed Stannis. And he says that he'd reward the man. And we're like, it was a woman.
It was a woman.
It was a bloody woman.
It's a bloody woman.
A bloody woman, yeah. Yeah, she was bloody after slitting all those throats and stuff.
And getting her face kicked in.
Oh yeah, the guy kicked her right in the face. That was so gnarly. Ugh. Sam got kicked in the face recently too.
Poor Sam.
I don't like watching people get kicked in the face.
No, like how do you not have a concussion or a broken jaw? Like what is this magic?
Or, like how does your nose stay intact?
Hilarious. So Roose is all pissed at Ramsay because he's like, yeah, you set some fires and shit like that, but you played your fucking games with Sansa, with the Stark girl, and with Theon, and they're both gone now. Like, what the fuck? And Ramsay's in damage control. I have a team of men after them with some of my best hounds. They won't get far. And Roose has to continue torturing Ramsay with the whole line of succession thing. He's like, you better fucking hope you get him back. Otherwise, your standing is in danger because, Lady Fat Walda is probably carrying a boy. And he's just like we've been talking about, dangling the carrot in front of Ramsay this whole show, torturing him about all of this. But now that Sansa has planted that seed that, it doesn't really matter. A bastard's a bastard, whether you've been naturalized or not. Mm-hmm. Lady Walda is carrying a boy. That's not good for you. That planted that seed that, other people are noticing this too. And I think this is the final straw for Ramsay. The last time he's going to let his dad torture him in this manner and dangle this in front of him and toy with him. Because real soon he's going to kill Roose Bolton.
Yeah. Isn't it the next episode?
Maybe. It's definitely coming up for sure. So I love that. Like we mentioned before, it was Lady Sansa who planted the seed of Roose's destruction by solidifying in Ramsay's mind that he's never he's never safe, basically.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Good
revenge
girl.
for Robb. It's awesome. So,
nice.
Yeah, in typical Roose fashion, he's manipulating Ramsay with threats about his future lordship and everything. And this time it backfires. You can't taunt a psychopath about something like that for too long before they snap.
Both psychopaths.
Yeah,
like
sure.
their relationship is so fucked up.
Ramsay and Roose?
It's just back and forth torturing each other.
Yeah, definitely. So what do you have next, Lady Rachel?
The next note that I have is Marjorie's cell with Septa Unella reciting some of the 7-pointed star
at her.
Ah, yes.
The 7 hells brim with the souls of saintly men. They scream in agony, and their shame is so great they do not feel the flames. For now they see, if not for a single sin they concealed, they were saved.
And she's just like, I'd like to see my brother, please. Like, shut the fuck up. I want to talk to my brother.
Confess.
Yeah. I like that you can tell Marjorie and Loras have a super tight relationship. The first thing she does is ask about him, and she just always, she super cares about Loras, and
they love each other, definitely.
Yeah, and they're willing to even bang the same dude together.
Yeah. They're so comfortable with one another. Like, I can't.
Families who share their kings stay together. Right?
And she just walks in. When what's his name?
With Oliver,
yeah.
Oliver.
Oliver. It's the Westerosi version of Oliver.
And she just walks in just as if nothing's going on.
She's like, "Who are you?"
Yeah,
what flavor of the week are you?
Yeah, definitely nothing new for Marjorie to be knowing about all this type of stuff. So Marjorie is demanding to see her brother, right? Sinners don't make demands; they make confessions.
Confess.
Confess.
Shame.
Shame.
And then it's good cop, bad cop. Septa Unella slams the book shut and approaches Marjorie aggressively. And that's when the High Sparrow comes in and kicks out Unella, basically.
Septa Unella.
Yeah.
Our other guests.
He sighs at her.
Septa Unella can be overzealous at times. I'll speak with her. So he's the good cop coming in, and that whole good cop, bad cop dynamic. It's pretty funny. And so it
works.
Yeah, sure. Definitely. And so he's saying that he's there because Tommen misses her. And he's so fucking, I don't know. The love between a man and wife is sacred. It reflects the love the gods have for all of us. And he's trying to get her to confess her sins. And she's like, I have nothing to confess. And that's not a good plan. You got to come up with at least some type of bullshit to confess about, like Cersei did. She should have learned from Tyrion, who's always confessing to something. Even if it's not what he's being accused for. Up at the Eyrie.
Yeah. Oh my God.
What is he milks his one-eyed snake into the turtle soup.
Make the bald man cry.
Made the bald man cry. So Cersei could drink the soup or whatever.
At least I hope she did.
Oh my God.
And then he does it again when he's on trial.
Yep. Second trial. Yeah. Same thing.
I'm on trial for being a dwarf.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Marjorie should have done some shit like that. Come up with some clever things to confess about. And maybe she could have gotten out a little easier.
I like what he says here, though. So you believe you are pure, perfect, holy, without sin?
None of us are. She said that.
He's like, okay, now you've started down the path, but you have a long way to go, girlfriend.
Yeah, miles to go before you sleep. Such a douche, basically.
Definitely.
What do you have next, Lady Lisa? Anything?
Yeah, Arya. When her and the waif are fighting, blind. Yeah,
blind ass bitch.
The blind.
Oh yeah.
She says something like she addresses Arya as blind girl, and then gives her the, what is that?
Staff.
Yeah, and Arya goes, "I can't see."
Like, yeah,
duh.
Like, we know that.
We know. That's not my problem.
Your eyes are white.
Also, I just addressed you as blind girl.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I have. I just had to say that.
That was pretty funny. I was just kept imagining Arya, like she's swinging wildly with that staff and everything. I kept hoping she'd like hit a bystander. You know, like people walking around or whatever. There's a couple of other people sitting on the staircase behind her, the steps, and they're watching like, what is going on down there? This woman's beating up a blind girl with a stick.
I know, and no one really does anything about it, do they?
No, they're all like beggars as well. They're like, I'm not getting involved in this. There's no money in it for me.
Shit probably happens like that all the time, like fights and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Speaking of the money, I really like that square coin.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
I think it's the Bravosi square coin. Is that right?
Well, all of it.
We see one of those as well when Eurotrash Dario is...
Triangle, right? Yes, yeah. I think it's a triangle, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I don't remember exactly, but a funky shaped
you're right,
coin.
Lisa, it's a triangle.
Nice.
Shapes.
I remember I have some coins from the Bahamas with like holes in them.
Holes in them, yeah.
Those are cool.
Yeah, and I've got one from Sicily. They've got like they're two-toned. Like on the outside it's like a silver, and in the inside it's like bronze.
Toonies are like that in Canada too. $2 coins, toonies they call them. Loonies and toonies, $1 and $2 coins.
Looney Tunes.
Yeah, hilarious. So next in my notes, it's Tyrion and Varys doing their thing, and we already kind of talked about this a little bit, but there's some other funny moments where Tyrion's like, they're worried about everything, and Tyrion's like, we'll be fine walking around down here. We're dressed like common merchants.
He's like, you walk like a rich person.
Yeah, and the way he's walking is fucking hilarious. He's just striding along with his hands clasped behind his back erect, looking very proper and
yeah, what does Varys say
elegant.
About that?
What?
Like the floor comes up to greet you or something like that. What does he say?
You walk as though the paving stones were your personal property.
Yeah, that.
Varys says. I used to steal from people like you when I was a boy. And of course, Tyrion has to go for the low blow. It's a good thing you're not a boy anymore.
And he just rolls his eyes at him.
Because you have no cock. Yeah. And it's...
Yeah, we get the joke.
Yeah,
I've
Tyrion's
heard it a million
always going
times.
for that low-hanging fruit or no-hanging fruit.
Oh,
Duncan!
So that's when they meet the baby that Tyrion wants to eat and everything. It's hilarious.
The baby that he wants to eat.
Or at least the woman thinks he wants to eat.
Oh, who's the actor that plays Varys? What's his name?
Connolith Hill.
Yeah, I like what he says about his favorite thing to do on the show is just bitch with Tyrion.
Oh,
Not Tyrion,
really?
Why can't I do names today?
Peter Dinklage?
Peter Dinklage, yeah. Just bitching with Peter.
That's great. They're such a fun duo.
Mm.
Hope we get to see a good deal more of them this upcoming season.
I can't wait to see their endgame.
The more I rewatch this series, I think the more they emerge as one of, like, if I might even go out on a limb and say that they're my favorite.
Interesting. Yeah, they're definitely in top 5 for me. They're
very smart.
Yeah.
They
might be top 3 for me, but there's just so many awesome duos, like, and as we see them again and again and again, as we rewatch, it's like, I don't know, I can't decide, but these two are definitely top 3 for me.
They're smart.
Nice.
They're funny. What are your other ones, Rachel?
I love the Arya and the Hound.
The Arya.
Haria or
Haria.
Around.
Oh, all right. And what's the other one for you?
I also like Bronn and Jaime.
Bronn and Jaime. Interesting.
Bronn and Jaime. That's obscure.
I like Bronn and Tyrion, but I like Bronn and Jaime in season 7. They have a good little banter going and a friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bronn saves him from being roasted by Drogon and everything.
Yeah, and I like them down in Dorne. You know, they're funny together. Like, freaking Bronn is singing along and Jaime, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
the way they fight, dynamic. You know, Bronn's teaching him to fight. I like them.
I feel like Bronn's thing would be, but what's in it for me? Like his words for his house.
Oh, for his sigil, his house words. Yeah. How much?
What did you come up with?
What is it? Tyrion's like, if I asked you to kill a babe in his mother's arms, would you do it?
He's like, I would ask how much.
I wouldn't just do it. First, I'd ask how much. Yeah, maybe that's his house words. How much?
How much? Yeah, that's good. What was it that you came up for the sigil? You said something.
For Bronn?
Yeah. Like 2 swords and some money or something.
Like a black background for the Blackwater Bay.
And gold
swords. Crossed swords with a stack of gold coins behind him or something. Sell swords.
We'll have to make that now. Another t-shirt.
Cool. That'd be a good t-shirt.
Gold swords.
What would his house be called? How much? Yeah.
House how much? No.
Because we don't have a last name for him, right?
No.
Blackwater, I guess. Meh.
Bronn Blackwater.
Ooh.
That's kind of cool, actually.
All right.
I like it.
So next we're in Essos in the countryside with Jorah and Dario. Is that where you are too?
And yes, Duncan, Jorah is riding a Frisian.
Oh.
So you can actually, there's so Dario's riding a black horse as well, but it's a really easy way to see the difference between like kind of a regular horse and what a Frisian looks like. They're just like have a lot more hair, like mane and tail and feet, and they're cool looking.
I got to take care of a Frisian baby once. She's so cute.
Oh, I love Frisians.
Did you say something about a dressage horse also, Lisa?
Yeah, I just noticed that one of the horses was very fancy with his leg work there, like whatever this movement would be called in words in English. Like lifting up his hooves and stuff like that, like really high.
Yeah, that's the Frisian. Yeah, that's the Frisian.
Yeah.
Nice. It gleams in the light of the Dothraki Sea.
Bioluminescence.
Yeah, so they come across a carcass.
You think our friend got him?
I think so.
Drogon calling him our friend. I thought that was pretty cool. Jorah's like, oh, well, you know anything else that can melt a ram's horn? I mean, you know, obviously, yeah, it was Drogon.
Your morning breath.
Morning breath can melt a ram's horn. Dragon's breath. So they're moving along and they come over that crest and they see the big whirlwind tornado shaped bullseye where all these Dothraki horses were circling around Dany and they're drawn to
Such a cool
it.
Scene.
Yeah, and Jorah just happens to be standing right over that fucking ring. What are the odds of that, huh?
Beacon.
I had trouble with that. It's like, really? You're in grass that's like 5 inches deep.
It has Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
In the middle of a countryside.
Tall grass.
And you just happen to like come across a pearl ring.
I wonder if there's some magic going on there. Right? Like she can summon her.
Like maybe she should have like left her shoe.
That would have been too obvious though.
I know. Or her dragon necklace.
Ooh, the Dothraki would have seen that though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they would have stolen it.
But that's the whole thing is like if the Dothraki don't see it, then how the fuck is Jorah going to see it? There was like 1,000 Dothraki there and just one of Jorah.
Exactly.
Maybe there's some magic going on there. She can summon her dragons. Maybe she can do some other stuff.
Yeah,
call out like telepathically to Jorah, I'm over here.
Do you hear that? Tinfoil crinkling?
Tinfoil. Chewing on it over there. Just chewing on the tinfoil like a basketball makes me think of. So they have some interesting back and forths here where Dario's telling Jorah, or Jorah's telling Dario, yeah, I keep coming back, obviously, because I love her. You know why I keep coming back. And Dario's like, well, isn't it frustrating wanting someone who doesn't want you back? He's like, of course it is. And I like
How
Dario's.
could it not be?
Whereas these two could be at each other's throats, both loving the same woman, they sort of have a kinship and like a good rapport between the two of them to some degree. Dario's like, well, you're a romantic. I admire that. Sometimes I look at you and think, that's what I want to be when I grow old. And Jorah's like, if you grow old. And he's like, yeah, if I grow old, I hope I do. I want to see what the world looks like when Dany's done conquering it. And that's an interesting thought.
You didn't have much discipline as a child, did you?
Yeah.
It made me think of the ghost grass. You guys remember ghost grass from the books?
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Rachel? You remember that?
Isn't that the grass that like is going to overtake the whole world?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's interesting. It could be seen as a metaphor for the White Walker.
It's like that really tall grass that I think they show it when they're like walking through at some point when Dany in season 1, the really tall like grasslands.
I don't think we ever see it, but it's mentioned. I think.
Oh, okay. Maybe Jorah mentions it, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure it looks like that, like what you're describing, but more ghosty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, more ghosty. So, they see all the tracks in the ground and everything, and Dario says, oh, an army. And I like what Jorah's response, he says, not an army, a horde, which is just kind of a cool word, horde. Gives it more of like a savage feel. What'd you say?
World of Warcraft.
Oh, is that a World of Warcraft thing?
It's the Alliance versus the Horde.
Oh, all right, cool.
It reminds me of when Dany is told that she has a horde, and she goes, a horde?
Yeah.
Dany's told what?
She's confused. She's like, I have a horde.
Oh, I don't remember that. That's funny. Yeah. So Jorah bends over, picks up the ring, and says, "They have her." And it cuts over to Dario with the horses, and one of the horses is like a dramatic neigh, which is.
I know. I love all the sound effects, like not just in this series, but in like pretty much every TV show and movie there is. They always have the horses like making a ton of noise, like vocally, and they don't really do that.
No.
In real life,
they're like rabbits.
They're pretty quiet.
Totally.
Until they like smell something, if they're lonely
or see someone they know, or see another horse they know.
It's pretty cool.
I mean, even like when my horse has like gotten cuts and stuff before, they don't even like react.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They don't like
my
cry
dog's like
or
that.
wail or anything.
No, I think it has to be extremely painful, but like when they're like nickering like all the time, and the horses, they do it if they're anxious, but these horses are just like standing there half asleep. Like they're not making any noise.
What is nickering?
It's like they kind of like nicker under their breaths. Like, I don't know how to do it.
Hold up.
Like, you do it, Lisa.
I just kind of did, and it kind of failed.
Yeah. They just have like a little, it's like they're kind of excited to see you. It's like when a dog grumbles or growls, like when they're happy to see you. It's like just a different noise than a neigh.
Yeah, they, throughout the Game of Thrones books, they're all using all these different terminologies for various utterances from the horses. nickering, neighing, whinnying, all these different things. And I'm like, what the fuck is nickering?
Well, like neighing is when they like see another horse and they're like, oh, hey, what's up, dude? I see you.
Yeah.
Hello.
And like whinnying is like when they're like super excited and they kind of like are running around. And nickering is kind of like when they're quiet and they're like, my horse would nicker at me. It's like like when you whisper under your breath. It's like, oh, like they don't want to make a loud noise, but they're vocal. It's kind of like a cat purring in a way.
What about that? Like
blowing their nose?
Like when they have snot in their nose.
Hold on.
Yeah, the definition of nicker is a soft, low, breathy whinny.
Gotcha. Oh, is that it?
Oh,
it's like the rumbling that the dragons do.
Gotcha. Yeah. I think that's it for all my notes. You guys have anything else you want to talk about?
No more notes for me.
Yeah, I have 2 things here.
All right, what do you got?
I have puffball beard.
Oh, Discount Drogo.
Discount Drogo.
Yeah, that's a funny beard.
Just want to squish it.
He's got like 2 puffs below his chin.
Yeah. And then Cersei's dress when Myrcella's boat is coming in. She's wearing the locket with a lion on it, and then she's got like what looks like snakes and like a spear on her shoulder. And the spear is pointing towards the locket.
Damn.
Oh, nice.
What's up with that? It's like kind of Dornish looking clothing that she's wearing. At least the pattern is it evokes Dornish symbology. So is she just trying to make Myrcella comfortable? Like easing the transition from Dorne to King's Landing by wearing Dornish-esque garb? Or is it just a coincidence?
Yeah, it's probably just a coincidence. Or just a really cool costume idea that they were like, oh, we'll just put this in here. Kind of like the blood. It's either a coincidence or they're like, hey, let's just kind of do this.
Throwing in little details. Yeah, that's funny.
And then also with wardrobe stuff, Dany's dragon necklace choker thing.
Oh, that thing's tight.
It's very cool. It's like Etsy made right there.
Right? I want it.
Reminds me of episode 10 of season 1 when the dragons are born and Drogon is like hanging around her neck a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of. That's really cool.
Nice.
And my sticky notes are gone.
All right. So that's it for now. Stick with us, guys. We'll be right back after a short break. And that is a Genty multi-instrumental composition by me. If you want a copy, just send me an email and I'll shoot it off to you. And we're back with news about Game of Thrones. First, it was revealed in a recent trailer for John Wick 3 that Jerome Flynn, known as Bronn in Game of Thrones, will be featured in John Wick 3. So that's pretty exciting. Have you seen John Wick, really, Lady Rachel?
No, I have not.
Oh man, really good movies. He basically kills everybody. That's his thing.
Oh.
So I'm hoping that Bronn at least puts up a good challenge for him.
Cool. Lisa, have you seen it?
I have not. I've seen some clips though. Some
You're
funny
both
ones.
Fired.
No.
We're fired.
Fire volunteers.
Yeah, true.
I guess you could.
Yeah. You could fire anybody. You got a dragon. And the next little piece of news isn't really technically news, but it's something cool that was pointed out to me by Lady Lisa, who told me that Ewan Ryan, the actor who plays Ramsay, played Hitler in a show that aired last year. Did you know that?
No.
So perfect.
I guess there's this show called Urban Myths, and an episode came out in 2017 where Ewan Ryan is playing Hitler. Just pretty Pretty crazy. Going from one psychopath to another.
I was just going to say, clearly he plays a good psychopath.
Yeah.
I mean, he does, though. The way he has that creepy whisper.
That
soft voice.
No, he does a great job.
If you want to see him playing something non-psychopathic, then check out the show Vicious with Ian McKellen. And is that the guy's name? Ian McKellen?
He's not a psychopath, but the show is just called Vicious.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
He can't escape.
He's not a psychopath. It's funny. He's just like a happy-go-lucky, like normal dude in that one. It's really weird.
In a show called Vicious.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
His hair's like slicked back and stuff.
That's great. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
Nice.
Moving on to Game of Thrones and history from historycollection.co. 10 historical parallels to Game of Thrones by Alexander Meddings.
Lyanna's abduction and the rape of Lucretia. Before Rome was an empire, it was a republic. And before it was a republic, it was known as a kingdom. What brought about the Roman kingdom was a mythical event we know as the rape of Lucretia. In roughly 510 BC, Lucretia was assaulted by Sextus Superbus, the son of Rome's last king, Tarquin the Proud, while he was staying with Lucretia's husband, Callantius, on a military campaign. Abusing his hospitality, he entered her chambers and forced himself on her, saying that if she didn't acquiesce, he would kill her and one of her slaves, laying their naked bodies next to each other and making it seem like they'd committed adultery.
Ooh,
so scandalous.
Totally.
The next day, dressed in black, Lucretia told her father what had happened, asking for revenge before pulling out a knife and stabbing herself to death.
Damn.
Vengeance came swiftly. Her husband, Lucius Tarquinius Collatinus, and her uncle Lucius Junius Brutus drove out the Tarquins and established a democratic republic. And it was poetically appropriate that Brutus was responsible for driving the last king out of Rome, as it was Marcus Junius Brutus, his distant descendant, who delivered the mortal wounds to the would-be dictator Julius Caesar in 44 BC.
Et tu, Brute, et tu, Ali.
Brutus.
There are many similarities to the story of Lyanna Stark. Just as Lucretia's immediate family became the standard bearers of the revolution and did away with the king, so too did Lyanna's after her supposed abduction by Rhaegar Targaryen. It was her brother Ned Stark and her betrothed Robert Baratheon who led the armies against the Mad King, resulting in his removal from power and the end of his dynasty. Or so they think.
Or dynasty.
Dynasty.
As well as similarities of story, the rape of Lucretia and the abduction of Lyanna also share similarities of form. Both events have become a part of the mythology of the worlds we first enter, whether that's early Roman Empire, pretty much where our literary evidence starts, or the immediate aftermath of Jon Arryn's assassination during Robert's reign. There are also stories that have been told and retold to such an extent that reality has become separated from history and fact from fiction.
Take the abduction of Lyanna, for example. As Bran's vision makes clear, she was not forcefully abducted by Rhaegar Targaryen, but fled with him willingly from her betrothed Robert Baratheon and married him in secret, legitimizing a certain bastard. But as Game of Thrones likes to drill home, history is written by the winners, and because Robert's rebellion was a success and the Targaryens were all but annihilated, the truth behind the revolt, which, we must remember, was vital to conceal as it gives Robert his legitimacy, was buried with him.
Brutal. The Mad King. In the annals of history, there's no shortage of mad kings. The Book of Daniel describes the fall of the 6th century BC king Nebuchadnezzar, who heuristically, believing himself superior on account of his achievements, was humbled by God by being made to go and live among the animals and feed on grass. In late 14th and early 15th century France, there was Charles VI, the Mad, who, as his name might suggest, was prone to sporadic outbursts of insanity and spent a large part of his reign believing he was made of glass and could shatter at any moment. That is fucking mad.
Cool. That's crazy. Aerys II Targaryen, the king who started out with so much promise and only turned paranoid, unhinged, and murderous, finds parallels with monarchs all across history. One of the most obvious is Ivan the Terrible of Russia. Like Aerys, Ivan also started brightly before succumbing to destructive paranoia brought on by constant court intrigues and perceived threats from those around him. By the end of his reign, he was routinely and brutally executing members of other boyar noble families, removing their ribs with red-hot irons, boiling and skinning them alive. Holy shit. Good God.
That's gnarls.
Ivan's cruelty may well have inspired Aerys II's murder of Lord Rickard and Brandon Stark, who had come to negotiate the release of Lyanna Stark. Rickard, Lyanna's father, was suspended from the rafters and roasted alive in his armor, while his son Brandon had a strangulation device attached to his neck. Brandon was told that if he could reach his father, he could use a sword placed under him to cut him down, but it was an impossible task. Brandon, in his efforts, strangled himself. That kind of reminds me of what Cersei does to Ilaria and her daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Just putting them next to each other, unable to do anything to help each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. Another Mad King-like thing that Cersei does, for sure. Aerys' pyromaniac tendencies also find parallels all across history. In the 1st century AD, there was the unhinged Emperor Nero, who, we're told, rather liked to burn things, including the vast majority of his own capital, and the Christian groups he scapegoated for doing so. Aerys' fall from virtue and descent into murderous madness also evokes another earlier emperor, Caligula.
Like Aerys, Caligula was killed by those who had sworn to protect him, but had witnessed and endured too much. For Aerys, it was Jaime Lannister, the man who should have been Tywin's heir, but who Aerys had politically vasectomized by bringing him into his knightly circle. For Caligula, it was Cassius Longinus, a Praetorian whose high-pitched voice and effeminate characteristics the emperor mocked so mercilessly that one day he snapped, stabbing him to death as he left the theater.
Hear that?
What was that?
Oh, it was Lady Lisa. That was weird. Sir Matthew of House Repp. All Oberyn wanted was to bring justice to the monsters that killed his sister and his niece and nephew. He dies in a trial by combat that he volunteered for, knowing full well the risk. Ilaria decides the best way to honor his memory is to kill his brother and nephew. Shame. Yeah, that's pretty fucking brutal. I'm so mad about Oberyn dying, let's kill the rest of his family. I'm wondering if there is some meaning behind the first two of Cersei's children dying by poison, but Tommen taking his own life. Also, both Olenna and Ilaria suffer fates similar to that which they inflicted upon Cersei's kids. Olenna kills herself with poison, and Ilaria is locked up in a dungeon to watch her daughter rot away, killed by poison. I loved how Pod helped Sansa with her vows. Brienne could have easily been called the Red Woman with all that Bolton blood on her.
Nice.
Great.
That's awesome. Lady Lucy of House Jane. Love it when Brienne finally gets to fulfill her vow to Cat by swearing to Sansa. Her face when Sansa starts saying the response is amazing. She looks so close to tears. The Melisandre scene at the end is really difficult to watch, and I find myself quite conflicted about it. I've always found her quite an unlikable character who manipulates people constantly to her own end, but seeing her so broken in this scene is really hard to watch. It makes me clear that she's only ever been doing what she thinks her God wants. This is a hard episode to watch, but made bearable by Davos. He's so funny in it. Is this episode where he asks for mutton to take with him? Yes, it is.
Whole shopping list.
Yeah, I like mutton.
Also, I think it would be simply lovely if Sonda ended up with Pod. He would keep her safe and love her so much.
Aww. That's a great idea.
Plus, he's the rod.
Oh my God, Duncan.
Oh, Duncan.
Pod the rod, really?
After all, like the horror that she's gone through, it'd be good for her to have someone who cares about her.
Well, that's what I think he did anyway.
What?
I think he just was really kind to those ladies.
That he didn't actually do anything?
No, I think he did stuff, but I think it was just super sweet.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Shame.
Shame.
Shame. Shame.
Ooh, that's
Oh my
funny.
God, there's a bell.
Lady Steph K of House Cooper. That was one of my favorite scenes when Melisandre takes off her necklace. Oh, yeah. I agree.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Boobs.
Boobs.
And I really like what you said, Lady Rachel, about the hand. I'm going to watch for that next time.
We really kind of glossed over the significance of the revelation that Melisandre is super old. That was like
that's true.
A huge moment.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah. That was something that everyone was thinking about for a long time.
Yeah, there had been a lot of speculation about that. And when it happened at that moment, people were just had their minds blown.
I noticed her hand the very first time I watched it.
Really?
That it was an old lady hand. I knew when she took off the necklace, something was going to happen because the light in the necklace, it like glowed really red.
Yeah.
And then it went out. And then there was like this little feeble hand that set it on the table and the stone is black.
Yeah, I knew exactly what was happening when she went to reach for the necklace. I was like, oh my God, she's going to be an old bitch.
Boobs.
Boobs.
What's her name? What the actress that plays?
Carice Van Houten.
Ooh, I don't think I actually knew that. So good one. Have you seen her in the old makeup?
No.
The old lady makeup. It's good. You can look that one up.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to look that up. That sounds funny.
Post it or something.
Lady Alicia of House Stout. I'll never forget when this episode first aired, 41 weeks after Jon Snow was stabbed in the season 5 finale. Is he still dead? Will he rise again? Yep, we won't know in this episode either. Gah! One of my favorite scenes in this episode was Brienne declaring her protection for Sansa. Again, but this time for real. I cry every time I watch it. So moving and satisfying. With a little teary emoji.
Aww.
Hashtag who cut the onions.
Oh.
Nice.
What was I going to say? Oh, Yep. All right.
That's it?
No, I was going to say something. Oh, I remember when this episode actually aired, people were like, what? We're still not going to know about Jon Snow being alive or not?
Torture. So funny. They just had to fuck with us.
I thought that too. I thought for sure he would either be confirmed dead in this episode or like come back to life. I was so bummed that he didn't get resurrected in this episode the first time we watched it.
Not even any talk about it either. Just Davos being like, I can't speak for the flames, but he's gone.
Get the wolf.
Yeah.
Oh man, so fucked up. I knew he was coming back though. I never had a doubt.
But the fact that the Red Woman was there, I thought to myself, okay, we've seen people be resurrected on this show. Beric Dondarrion, so maybe it could happen.
That's one of the things that's different in the books. I believe the Lady Melisandre is not at Castle Black when Jon is stabbed. Is that right?
That sounds right. It sounds right.
I have no clue.
Go with that.
Right.
I have no clue. Lord Axel of House Erickson replying to Game of Microphones episode 92. Great show. I love that you give credit to Dorian. I really like him, especially in the books. Fantastic book quote about grass hiding vipers. Forgot about that one.
Glad you like that one. Yeah, it just came to me all of a sudden. I was like, ooh, I got to add this into the show. Doran is the grass that hides the viper.
Yeah. But I don't agree that Daenerys, burn or hang them all Targaryen, would flinch at the blood and death in the arena.
I like that.
She's deep into that shit.
That's hilarious. Yeah, it's so funny. I guess if she thinks it's just and deserved, she'll, roast you alive and watch the dragons tear you to shreds. But if you're just an innocent guy, she doesn't want to see you getting hurt or killed.
Yeah.
Especially not for her glory.
For sure. Lord Axel continues, you just talking about the burning of Shireen was hard enough. Probably the worst scene in the whole series. I have to maybe agree with that.
Well, I'm
statement.
glad that our coverage of that elicited an emotional response from you.
Yeah.
Even if it was extreme sadness. All right, that's our show, episode 93. Thanks for listening, everybody.
And a huge thank you to Lady Lisa of House Sky Pie Romancer for joining us today. I freaking love you.
Oh my gosh, I love you too.
Yeah, thanks
so
for joining
much love.
us.
Cheers, you guys. And
cheers.
Yeah, so I just want to say thank you so much, you two, for doing this. Like, I think I've said it before, but I had a really rough year this year, and it's really this this podcast was my saving grace a little bit. So, it was comforting and entertaining, and I just love everything you guys do and put so much effort. And now seeing all of the background stuff, like everything that goes into it, I've seen behind the scenes here, and wow, it's a lot of work. Mm-hmm. It is a lot of work. I'm just so proud of you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Glad that we helped light a torch through your darkest hour.
I feel like you're doing that for a lot of people, so you're doing some really good work here. Keep it up.
Thanks. Hope so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That means a lot for sure.
Definitely. If you'd like to donate or subscribe to support us, you can go to paypal.me/GOMPodcast and patreon.com/GOMPodcast to donate an amount of your choosing.
Doing some online shopping? Go to gameofmicrophones.com and click on our link to Amazon. As an Amazon associate, we can earn from qualifying purchases.
Any contribution you make helps, and you can help secure the continued existence of Game of Microphones!
Make sure to check out Sirenicide too. That's Archmaester Stitch's serialized horror drama podcast revolving around a tale of terror and mystery unfolding in the fictional city of Morston, Texas.
And seriously, you guys, I've listened to a couple of episodes and I can't wait to get into it. It's really good. You really should check it out.
Yeah, it's a lot
really
of fun.
Nice.
Really
Plus,
well done.
It's got me as Mayor of Morston, Malik Husto.
Yeah.
We'd also like to thank our patrons, Sir Matthew of House Repp, Lady Lucy of House Roberts, Lady Candace of House Tews, Lady Terry Theodore, Lord Jeff of House Allen, Sirenicide, and Luke, the Low Duke. We love you guys. Thank you so much for your support.
Yes, thank you.
The coolest.
We also want to give a huge thanks to Lady Lisa for being critical behind the scenes, working to get gameofmicrophones.com up and running. It looks so good. I love it.
Definitely. An awesome website. It's really cool. And Lisa, why don't you tell us where people can find your work again?
Okay, so you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Fine Arts by Lisa. That's the handle. And fineartsbylisa.com is my website, and that's where you can find my children's book. It's a book that I put together with volunteers from all over the world, and they told me their story. And I drew their picture, and it teaches kids tolerance, about equality, about peace, and just being good to each other, and kind of explains the people they may see in the world. And sometimes that's hard to explain to a child. You know, what's a hijab? Oh, well, I can tell you. So that's my book.
Nice. Yeah, the people you may see.
Awesome. I love that concept.
That's really cool. Thanks again for being on the show.
Yeah.
Next episode, we'll be covering Season 6, Episode 2, Home. Give it a watch and send us your thoughts. We'd love to read them on air. If you'd like to call, you can call us at 813-JOFFREY. That's 813-563-3739.
If you would like to write in, you can email us at ravens@gameofmicrophones.com.
Check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/GOMPodcast. While you're there, give us a rating and a review.
Imp slap. Oh. You can also listen to Game of Microphones on YouTube, BitChute, and Steemit. Just search for Game of Microphones to find our channel. We can't create a custom URL on YouTube until we have 100 subscribers, so please subscribe as well. Likes, comments, and shares are also greatly appreciated.
We're also on Twitter, Instagram, Gab, and Minds at GOMPodcast.
And we're on Tumblr too at Game of Microphones.
All right, that's our show.
Thanks for listening.
Yes, nailed it. Lady Sansa, I offer my services once again. I will shield your back and keep your counsel, and give my life for yours if need be. I swear it by the old gods and the new.
And I vow that you shall always have a place at my hearth and
Meat and mead at my table.
meat and mead at my table. And I pledge to ask no service of you that might bring you dishonor. I swear it by the old gods and the new. Arise.
It's a bloody woman. And she just, the noises she makes, like, she's just so cool. She's the coolest.
Yeah, she's like,
and her faces and stuff.
mm-hmm.
So dramatic. And why would you put your back to someone who is going to kill you?
Yeah, that's really
or
dumb
wants
too.
to kill you.
You are really dumb. For real.
It might be Operation Meltdown in a second, so.
I like that. I'm using it. The Danko HL baby.
The day.
Don't lock me out!
Don't lock me out.
Oh yeah, I put that in the outro, like outtakes. Rachel.
Oh no!
Oh, I was laughing
Don't
so
lock me
hard.
out. I unlocked it, and then you're like,
and now
"He
you're
locks
just
me
doing
out
it.
here."
Drinking out of cups. Kyburn's like, well, then you're mine now.
Right? Yeah. Basically.
Have some candied plums.
Yeah, you little birds are mine, little birds now. Little children. So creepy.
The old lady.
I like it.
Classic.
Then he feeds her to the dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like,
And she trips, and the blood rider freaking cracks a whip at her. She has pretty eyes, but she's a total idiot.
she doesn't have to be smart to get fucked in the ass. Oh, damn, I was going to try to lure you in to get into saying that.
Oh.
Nope, not gonna happen. Not after the clam situation.
And I totally just revealed my plan as well. Damn it.
She lists off her titles.
Yes. Titles.
I don't think she goes back to Marine. Well, she does go back to Marine.
She does, yeah.
Never mind, but it's very short.
For sure.
So he wipes the table off, like he just moves, even like lit candles. He just like pushes off the table.
Like Jamie,
I'm like, uh-oh.
Jamie knocking off the white book from the table so he can bang Cersei on it. Luckily, they're not banging Jon's dead body, though.
Ugh.
Oh, God.
Thank you for that image.
Yes, thank you, Duncan.
All these gray characters.
Gray, that's a good word for it.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, that's what, George R. R. Martin describes it.
It's a good one.
Yeah, lots of shades of gray. More shades of gray than Christian Grey.
Ah.
I wouldn't know. I've never read the book or watched the movie.
Neither have I either. I've just spanked a bunch of bitches.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
Jesus
kidding.
Christ.
You said that with such vigor.
My God. And Ollie looks like an asshole in this scene.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Like
He looks a
bag
lot
of
older.
mashed up assholes.
Oh my God. I can't even fathom what that would look like.
And everybody's murmuring. Fucking murmuring. There's a couple of cool things. A couple of...
How do you feel about that, by the way?
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah.
Nope. You're dead. Why kill everybody else too? You want them to live, right? I'd want my people to live if I died.
Yes. She smelled of dog.
So attractive. It's kind of poetic though. She's devoted her life to the dogs. Her life to the dogs, So now she gets
she's going to be their poo.
She's going to nourish them.
Such a douche.
Yeah, we get the joke.
Yeah,
I've heard it a million
always
times.
going for that low hanging fruit or no hanging fruit.
Oh, Duncan.
Like a black background for the Blackwater Bay and like
black
cool horse.
Very silky and regal.
Silky, yeah. Shiny.
Chardonnay.
It gleams in the light of the Dothraki Sea.
Yeah, I'm sure it looks like that, like what you're describing, but more ghosty.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they're like nickering like all the time, and the horses, they do it if they're anxious, but these horses are just like standing there half asleep. Like they're not making any noise.
I drink more liquor to fuck you up quicker than you'd want to fuck me up for saying the word nicker.
What is happening?
Old Eminem song. Obviously, he's referring to a different word that he doesn't say.
Old Eminem song, Rachel. Duh.
You said nickering, the horse nickering.
Nicker.
It made me think of it.
I know.
Knickerbocker.
What is nickering? Knickerbocker Bank.
Oh my God.
Knickerbocker Bank. What is nickering?
In roughly 510 BC, Lucretia was assaulted by Sextus Superbus.
Oh my God, that's unfortunate. Superbus.
Ooh, so scandalous.
Totally. Go and live among the animals and feed on grass. In the late 14th and 15th century, there's no "the" there. In late 14th and early 15th century France. Yeah, that's pretty fucking brutal.
Shame.
I'm so mad about Oberyn dying. Let's kill the rest of his family.
Oh my God. Really, Dave?
It's hilarious.
Hold on.
That one
Had to
last
go
one was hilarious.
one little one. Shame.
Ooh, that's
Oh my God, there's a bell.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Boobs.
Boobs.
Yeah, I knew exactly what was happening when she went to reach for the necklace. I was like, oh my God, she's going to be an old bitch.
Boobs.
Well, I'm glad that our coverage of that elicited an emotional response from you.
Yeah.
Even if it was extreme sadness. Basically, fuck you. I'm not going to
Duncan.
that.
We need a whole stream of Duncans.
Things that I cut out. I'll be Podrick, obviously.
Odd the rod. Okay.
Odd the rod.
Dunk the hunk, is that the equivalent?
Oh my God. I just snorted.